Our third speaker was supposed to be Harold Kodish, CTO of GE Digital. Unfortunately, there was a snowstorm yesterday, those of you who haven't heard, in Seattle. And he couldn't get out. And so we are going to miss Harold for this panel. However, we have so many industry executives here at this forum. We invited Peter Martin, who is the VP of Innovation and Marketing at Schneider Electric. And Peter is also an innovator in our industry. And I think many of you already know Peter. So with that intro, I'd like to invite Peter.
Thank you, Andy. I had to lower the mic. Clearly, I'm not at the same perspective as everybody else. Andy caught me this morning and said, I'd like you to speak here because you're the one in the room that looks the most like Harold. So I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much. I'd just like to talk a few minutes. I've been preparing my notes for about 6 months for this talk, but I'd like to talk for a few minutes on what we see going on at Schneider Electric and Industry, and I've talked to a lot of you about this already. We honestly believe our industry has reached what we call a whiteboard moment. Now, that's the way we describe it internally, and what we mean by that is for the last 50 years, we've been evolving out of distributed control systems, evolving out of programmable logic controllers, evolving out of all the things that were invented and developed at the beginning of the digital age. And as new technology and new capability came along, we kept evolving. And a whiteboard moment says, erase the whiteboard, start over. We've reached a point where we can actually say, if life as we knew it were good, what should this look like? And that's a great moment to be in industry. I'm pretty excited to be part of this. My only regret is that I'm old. So sooner or later, I'm going to bow out of some of this, but you guys are in for an exciting ride. We believe there are two industry drivers that are particularly poignant right now. One is the speed of industry, the speed of industrial business continues to increase. When you think 15 years ago, most industrial plants could develop contracts with their electricity suppliers that were a year long and set the price of electricity for a year. Today, in the open grids in the United States, the price of electricity changes every 15 minutes. The price of natural gas changes every 15 minutes. The price of some of the raw materials, like base metals, might change 2 or 3 times a minute. With new outlets like Amazon and Google, even the value of the products produced changes much faster than it's ever changed. We're in a world in where monthly management of business is not working, and we have to move beyond that to real-time management of business. Now, we talk about IT and OT. Again, we believe you erase the blackboard. Instead of trying to converge these two worlds, let's talk about what it should look like and what we should be doing to drive better operational profitability. The second driving force is technology. We can't deny it. I mean, I came up with a list of acronyms that have come out in the last 5 years describing technology, and I had to go to multiple PowerPoints, which is our primary mode of communication most of the time. And there are so many acronyms. And you might look at each one of them and say, each acronym by itself, well, it really might not mean all that much. But I got to tell you, take them all together, something big is happening. And we have to look at what's happening. So coming out of these two driving forces, our perspective is we're reaching a point where we have a level of architectural agility that's never been available to us before. And I think when you think of IIoT and technology, it's the agility we get to design architectures that really match the problem that we're trying to solve. The architectures that we've had to this point were constrained by technological issues, bus structures, speeds, CPU capabilities, and they didn't look anything like the plants that we were trying to control. That's going to change. We're going to move to a world of natural industrial architectures where the actual architecture of the system looks exactly like the problem it's trying to solve, the plant. And that's huge. When you start moving in that direction, that's when engineers can really use the expertise they have, not to worry about the control system, but to worry about the control system provides. So that's a critical thing for us. We also believe that the jargon coming out of the IIoT world, which a lot of that jargon is very technology focused. And we believe it has to change to a value focus. But the jargon coming out of the IIoT world talks about system of systems. And I believe we are moving to a world of system of systems. The only way to realize open and interoperable, which Don will talk about, I'm sure, is taking this new mindset to system design. And we believe it's moving in that direction very quickly. This is not going to take 15 years. It's moving very quickly. But that's the hardware side. That's the architecture side. You got to remember, our goal is to add value. Our goal is not to, cobble together different architectural approaches. Our goal is to drive value to the bottom line of our customer's business. That is, the goal of automation and control is to improve the operational profitability of the plants safely. That's what our goal is. It boils down to that. It's not efficiency, it's profitability. We've got to raise the bar, move beyond efficiency to profitability. And that's when you get value. And we think when you talk about IIoT and the direction we're moving, we have to focus on function, not just fit. And the functional expansion, if you look at our industry, when I joined industry in the 1830s, we were a controls industry. We were not an automation industry, we were a controls industry. The function we provide is control, and we're good. And you look at the world around us is changing because of control. How do you build autonomous automobiles? Real-time control. That's what we do, that's what we're good at. So what we see going forward is the control that we've done so well, focused on process control and logic control for efficiency improvement, will expand to new domains. Domains such as real-time reliability control, real-time safety control, and real-time profitability control. Yes, profitability is moving into the domain of control from management. And who's in a better position to solve these problems than this community? We have a charge put in front of us right now. And the charge is use our expertise to make industry better. And all the tools are there. What it requires is a different thought process. It requires us erasing that whiteboard and starting over again and saying, if I want to make this industrial plant more profitable, more safe, what would I do? What should I do? We're at the point we can actually do that. And we believe that there'll be a bifurcation of functionality. It'll be more than that, but I had to use that word. I looked it up this morning. There'll be a bifurcation of functionality. There'll be real-time functionality that takes place right at the asset, not the automation asset. We're not in business for automation assets. We're in business for our clients' assets. There'll be functionality that has to be right at the asset to make those assets autonomous and optimal in their operation. And then there'll be other functionality that we can put in the cloud that does a broader look, a bigger look. You need both levels. This concept that you suck everything up into the cloud and something good will happen, we've got to rethink it. It's agility, and the real question on the table is not, do you do it in the cloud, do you do it in the floor, do you do it in the edge, do you do it in the floor? I don't care. The question should be, where should we do it to make this operation run optimally? And that's our challenge. So I'll start off by challenging all of us. Let's take a whiteboard moment into consideration. Let's change industry for the better as a group, because I know we can. Thank you very much.